This video is created for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. All financial actions are your own personal responsibility. Before you start, make sure you understand the risks and are ready for them. Hi, I'm Evelyn. You've probably noticed how rapidly the world around us is changing. New technologies, new opportunities appear every day. Everything seems to have accelerated. In such moments, it's important not to stand aside, but to move with the times. After all, if you wait too long for the perfect moment, it simply slips away. I used to postpone things too. It seemed like I needed to prepare a little more, read more, figure things out. But while I was preparing, others were already moving forward. Over time, I understood development is not a race, but it's not about waiting either. It's about taking steps here and now with an understanding of where you're going. That's exactly why I developed an approach that helps you act without fuss but in a timely manner. Today I want to show how this method helps maintain momentum and seize moments when they truly matter. I'm sure of this. What matters isn't how fast you go, but where. You can expand a lot of energy, but if the path is chosen incorrectly, all that movement is in vain. I learned this from my own experience. When I was just starting, I had a sea of enthusiasm, but I didn't have someone who could advise me where to stop or conversely where to take a step forward. As a result, I spent time on things that didn't bring results. That's exactly why I created a community where everyone has the opportunity to get support and mentorship. You don't need to be an expert here. The desire to figure things out is what's important. A mentor helps you see what seems non-obvious at first glance, explains the steps, shares experience, and guides you when confidence is lost. This format gives you the feeling that you're not just learning, you're walking a path that someone has already walked before you. If this idea resonates with you, take a look inside. The link is in the description and the first pinned comment. And now, let's move on to practice and see how this works in real life. So, I've selected the necessary tools for observation and analysis. One of them helps mark key areas where the direction changes, removing visual noise and making the movement clearer. The second one shows how much the current value might be overextended to one side. Together, they provide a cleaner and more balanced picture of what's happening. Well then, let's begin. Here we go. Looking at the first situation. I'm noting that after the rise, a gradual weakening began. One of the assistants suggests a change in direction. The lines crossed and moved downward. Plus, you can see how the downward element overtook the previous upward one. This is often seen as an early sign of a shift in sentiment. Well, based on these factors, I decide to move in the direction of the decline. Alright, moving on. I noticed that the overall trend remains upward. After the recent rise, a short pause appeared with a slight pullback downward. Below the current level, a zone stands out where reactions have occurred several times. The price isn't being allowed to go there. The assistant in the lower part shows a slowdown and a change in direction. The lines are converging and starting to rise. All this could indicate a return to the main momentum. And based on this, I choose to move in the direction of the continued rise. So far, everything is going according to the rules of logic. No emotions. That's very important. Here I see that the price reversed twice in the same zone, which might indicate a weakening of the trend. The assistant also shows decreased activity on the retest. After the appearance of a downward impulse, I choose to continue in the same direction. Alright guys, let's keep up the pace, moving forward. Let's see what we have here. After an active decline, I note that the direction of the assistant is starting to change. The first sign of movement in the other direction appeared, followed by a candlestick pattern with a noticeable lower wick. This might suggest that the selling pressure is weakening, and based on these factors, I anticipate a potential shift upward. Let's keep up the pace and stay focused. You know what's the most insidious thing at the start of a journey? Not mistakes, but pauses. When you already have the desire to change inside, but you start thinking, now is not the time, I need to prepare, wait until everything becomes clearer, and time passes. A week goes by, a month, and nothing changes. I've seen this dozens of times, both in myself and in others. That's exactly why things are different in our community. No one waits for the perfect moment. We learn to act now, with small steps, but confidently. A mentor helps you understand where to look, how to analyze, where to stop, and where to move forward. And when this happens in a team, the path becomes easier and calmer. If you've long felt it's time to get moving, don't put it off. Take a look inside, see how it all works, and feel the rhythm for yourself. And now let's get back to practice. I see a discrepancy between the price movement and the indicator's behavior. One of the readings points to weakness. The line on the auxiliary tool exceeded the upper limit and started changing direction. A downward move appears, and I decide to join it. Excellent, guys! Let's continue. Okay, what do we have here? The trend is still bearish, as seen by the new lower low on the chart. After that, a slight pullback occurs. One of the indicators moves above the upper limit and starts to turn. The price returns to a previously marked zone, and judging by the reaction, I expect the movement to continue in the same direction. Let's move on. Here, the price remains within a range near an important level. The readings have been in the upper part of the scale for a long time, which might indicate overbought conditions. After breaching the boundary, the level quickly returns back inside, and I anticipate a short-term pullback downward. That wasn't easy, but it turned out to be correct. Looking further, here I see that one of the analysis tools has been in the upper zone for a long time, where reversals often occur. A pattern is also forming on the chart that indicates a possible weakening of the upward momentum. After this, I know the beginning of a turn in the readings, which could be a prerequisite for a change in direction. And I think it's worth going short. Alright friends, let's do a couple more. Moving here, I know the approach to an important zone that has previously influenced the price direction. At this moment, one of the analysis tools is in the lower part of its range and starts to change direction. Such conditions often become a starting point for an upward move. And now let's finalize this whole thing. Okay, as anticipated, the price moved slightly downward, but the overall trend remains bullish. I know the approach to an important zone that has previously influenced the price behavior. The indicator ended up in the lower part of the range and began to change direction. Everything fits within the pre-considered model, and I decide to join the upward movement. Excellent! My mood has brightened with new colors. We've already delved a little into the topic, and perhaps that feeling is emerging inside. A slight excitement about something new. That's normal. Everyone who ever started has been through this. The main thing is not to be scared. The new shouldn't be alarming. It just requires a little time and attention. Over time, everything becomes clearer and your steps become more confident. That's exactly why I created the community, to make this path calmer. There you can observe, ask, discuss, share. No one expects you to understand everything right away. Everything happens gradually at your own pace. It's not a competition, but a space where people learn to see the meaning in every step. If you feel ready to try and want to see how everything works from the inside, welcome to the community. Perhaps what seems new and unclear now will soon become your zone of confidence. Thanks for watching until the end. See you in the community, and bye!